Hey, how you doing? Seed garlic. It's the fall. It's the end of October. Leaves are gone. It's a big signal to get this stuff in the ground before it frosts, right? So I wanted to take you along for the ride. I'm going to try now. My challenge now is to apply the Back to Eden or Garden of Eden method of gardening to growing garlic. It's supposed to be a no-till, pretty much weedless way to go about things. So we're going to try that today. See what happens. Ready? Here we go.
Make, fix, grow, cook. GardenFork.
So here's the bed that we're going to put some of the garlic in, and then this is the other bed that the rest of the garlic is. I bought a lot of seed garlic here, and up here we grow the hardneck varieties. I got German hardnecks, which last a little longer, I'm told. So I got to clean this puppy up. This one is pretty good to go, and I'm blanking on what to say next, so let's just get started. This bed got a little out of hand. I guess that's a polite term for weeds took it over. But I'm gonna pull all this out, and then we're gonna do a pretty simple system for planting. I'm just a little worried that some of this weed seed probably already is in the ground here, but that's part of this Back to Eden, Garden of Eden method. I know I'm mangling that word and you're yelling back at the YouTube video, so let me just get this stuff out of here, okay? So the plastic does a pretty good job. Negatives are, well, one, it's plastic. Two, this was older plastic. It's not UV stable and it started to break down, so I got some little plastic pieces in there. Not good, I know. But it does do a heck of a job on killing weeds. So just take a look at this. That's DEAD, dead. And now we're ready for GARLIC, garlic. Real quick, I'm going to reference some other videos that we've made about planting garlic throughout this video. They'll all be either at the end of this video where you can click on them or in the text below the video. Okay? So in general, planting garlic is wicked simple. We've made some other videos about that, and putting them in the garden bed, the raised bed, I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, we have videos about raised beds too. So, but this is going to be pretty darn simple, and now we're combining it with a simplified version of the Garden of Eden gardening method, which is simply no-till. In other words, I'm not going to turn up this soil. I'm just going to leave it as it is, a layer of compost and a layer of wood chips. So we're not going to till this soil. We're going to put compost down, wood chips, seed garlic, good to go. One of the pluses of just being neighborly is that your neighbors will help you. And right now I need some compost and I need some wood chips, neither of which I have right now in substantial amounts for this. And I just happen to be lucky that one of my neighbors has a giant pile of compost and my other neighbor has a giant pile of wood chips. So one of my good friends, my neighbor, immaculate yard, vacuums it. Well, let's just say he mows his lawn a lot, and the leaves and the grass all get piled right here. It's a great, basically black gold compost that he makes, and he's nice enough to let me use some of it for our compost. So, not our compost, our garlic, right? So, I got the quad, the trailer, shovel. No, I got a garden fork. So, a load of compost. Thank you to my neighbor who doesn't want to be named, so we'll call him Mr. Mow Your Lawn. A lot of dirt. All right, don't tell anyone. We're transporting on a road. So we're going to adhere to the Back to Eden, Garden of Eden strictures, but I am going to add a time-release fertilizer on here before I lay down the compost and the wood chips, because garlic's kind of a heavy feeder, and I like this time-release fertilizer. It's pretty simple. Put it on, one and done, and it's organic, so it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, neighbor. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2 It's wood chips. All right. Thank you, neighbor number 2. For some reason doesn't want his name on the internet either. So the Labradors have not wanted to be out in the yard today. That's why they're not in the video.
But I'm home and now they do.
So the boss is home and now they want to play. So with the back to Eden method, if this was like grass or you're trying to turn a field into a garden bed, you would lay down cardboard or thick paper, then the compost, and then our wood chips here. But since this is an existing garden bed, we're gonna do compost and then our wood chip layer. Free wood chips. Ooh, the tension. GardenFork is all about use what you got, and this back to Eden method is perfect for that because we're using compost that we have, we're using wood chips that we have. If we wanted to do the cardboard thing, we have that too. So it's kind of like a triple win, and then you get food out of it. Success. This is another wood chip project we just did. I'll link at the end of the show or below the video, but it worked out really well, I thought. Saving blueberry patch with wood chips.
Excellent.
Usually ask a question at this point in the video.
What are you doing? Is that the question?
Putting on the wood chip layer, and then we're gonna plant the garlic. We're gonna pull away the wood chips, put the garlic clove in.
How deep in?
About the width of my finger here, so like 3 inches. Garlic's really easy. You just gotta do it in the fall.
Before it freezes?
Yeah,
Okay, we have to hurry then.
the princess.
Hello?
So this is generally called sheet mulching. We are kind of like when you throw out a bed sheet over a bed, it covers it. We're covering a garden bed in something. It's wood chips this time. There's also another method called the Ruth Stout method, which is sheet mulching with straw. There's a couple of them out there, and it's all very interesting. The idea is that we're conserving water, we're enriching the soil, we're keeping the weeds at bay to a point. I've used wood chips before, and some weeds still come through, but the amount of work is greatly reduced. So sheet mulching, this time with wood chips, with garlic. It's gonna be great. It's just, and then next year, have this great garlic harvest. Nice compost there. If you're interested in more about sheet mulching and gardening like this, there's a great YouTube channel called Back to Reality. Just smart, a really smart couple. Then their videos explain stuff really well, and it's well done, kind of unlike GardenFork. They don't have any Labradors, but they do have some really good information. Have some tea. All right, now comes the easy part. The camera is tilting. Hold on, let me just tighten the little thing that keeps it from. So we want to go from this seed garlic. Save your biggest bulbs from the previous harvest for seed going forward. And then you want to split these into individual cloves like this. How's that? If you've got some super small ones, just save those for cooking. The bigger these are, the bigger they'll grow. So much like when you're saving the bulbs for seed stock, the bigger cloves will grow bigger. Important tip. This is the bottom. This is the tip. This goes down. Okay. We've got our seed bed. We've got our seed garlic here. And we're gonna pull away the wood chips and press these into the compost. And leave that open like that. Don't pile in all those wood chips. Then I take my fingers and I measure across. This is the next place I'm going to plant. That end goes down. Cover it with the compost. Leave the wood chip hole open. Do you hear a Labrador?
I hear Labrador. How's progress?
It's going great. This is,
Is it warm under there?
no. The garlic doesn't need to be super warm. You want to get it in before the frost, so this root tip starts to grow. Then it freezes, and in the early spring, boom, it kicks in.
I like boom, it kicks in.
Yeah. Someone's eating my tea.
Oh. That's not for canine consumption, girl.
Built-in measuring tool. Where's the bottom? There's the bottom. Okay, that goes in like that.
You leave the wrapping paper on it?
Yeah, the paper skin that is between the cloves, if it comes off, it comes off. It is not the end of the world. This will grow and yield you some very fine garlic. Set that down into the compost, cover that up.
Did you use a compost from the yard?
No, over from our neighbor who does not want to be named,
Oh.
but he knows who he is. He's a good guy. He
When's
really
ours gonna be ready?
is. Our compost?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. It looks like a squirrel or a chipmunk has been here. But for once, it's not a squirrel or chipmunk, it's us using this back to Eden method, which I'm really excited about. So this is some videos right here referencing some of the stuff we talked about or below. So go grow your garlic and use what you got. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you.